One major disturbance that's currently working its way through LA County that's just the beginning, but that's the disturbance that's expected to bring us the heaviest amount of rainfall. We're looking at the majority of the rainfall to come during the early morning hours, and you can see it right now in the Max Doppler. That's the system that has prompted the extension of the flash flood warnings highlighted in the red here. Severe heavy downpours that began just after the 4 o'clock hour in areas from Malibu to West Hollywood, and now slowly working its way in a very slow-moving storm system. This prompted a flash flood warning in Ventura around 2 o'clock this morning. So you can imagine that we're going to continue to see some really heavy downpours associated with this for another hour or so. Then on the heels of that, there's another impulse, and you can see as we look in the San Luis Obispo area, that second impulse is going to help bring an additional round of rain, and that's just going to keep things nice and wet, and unfortunately the rain continuing for the majority of the day. The heaviest rainfall from this first impulse, the second impulse, some lighter rain, but enough rain that's going to be continually something that you're going to have to deal with, and will continue to increase the danger of flash flood warnings throughout the day. Wind, something that you'll certainly notice in our passes, in our canyons. We're seeing wind gusts upwards of 20, even 30 miles per hour. This wind advisory in the areas outside, it looks like the mountains of LA and Ventura County, looking to be in effect until about noon. As you can see, if you may be planning to drive along the 5, the Grapevine through Frazier Park, be prepared for really gusty winds. Maybe the 101 might be a better alternative if you're planning on heading in that direction. And then we've got high surf concerns. Of course, you've got the day off. You might want to head down to the coast. Of course, be very careful. Dangerous rip currents possible with elevated surf through Saturday morning up and down the Southern California coast. And you can see from Santa Barbara all the way to Ventura, LA County, and the San Diego County line until Saturday morning. I've been talking about these flash flood warnings, and they've been a significant issue throughout the week, and they're continuing to be a problem. This newest flash flood warning continues until 6 o'clock in Ventura County. Of course, please stay on alert. There's dangerous conditions on the roadways, and this elevated risk of those heavy downpours from this current cell, the danger associated with this is prompting this flash flood warning to remain for another 50 minutes or so. Then we've got the flood watch for the entire area of Southern California highlighted here in green. There are some areas like Fullerton, Newport Beach that aren't impacted, but the vast majority of us are going to feel the impact of that. There's this other flash flood warning that remains in effect for another 50 minutes, and this one was particularly intense. Heavy rainfall between 1 and 1.5 inches falling just within the last hour or so from Malibu to West Hollywood, and if you were trying to sleep, this was certainly going to keep you up. It was really, really heavy rainfall, and that's what we're going to see as it continues to work its way eastward. Here, I'll put the future forecast in motion. This takes us to about noon. You can see Lake Elsinore, Riverside, San Clemente. That's the biggest thing associated with at least this disturbance, is it's very slow moving, and it's going to pack quite the punch when it comes to the precipitation. A rain-snow mix is possible associated with the storm, by the way, as we look toward Big Bear, because we're looking at snow levels dropping even below advisory, below resort levels to about the 6,000 foot elevation level. Things, believe it or not, start to clear up in your 7-day forecast. We'll have more on that in a moment. Highs today, no surprise. The rain continues with highs in the 50s and 60s across the Southland, 38 in Big Bear. Your 7-day forecast across the LA area, we've got a high of 62 degrees. Heavy rain again. The break comes Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll see chances beginning on Tuesday, and then we're right back at it again with another round of rain, possibly bringing a chance of rain to start out your new year. Your Inland Empire forecast, we're looking at a high today of 61 degrees. Temperatures well above normal. Well below normal, I meant to say. And then we make a move that brings it a little bit above normal again, which is kind of where we liked it, a very weak area of high pressure. Compliments of that early next week. A live look at the Queen Mary this morning with a few raindrops on the lens.